I mean, there's a ton of reasons to be excited for the upcoming Shadowbringers expansion. It's impossible to really narrow down a singular reason in specific, so instead, I'd like to just sit here for a few minutes and discuss exactly why I'm excited. If you're not a fan of Final Fantasy XIV, then no problem. There are some people that love the game and some people that hate the game. It comes with the territory. Regardless of your preference, there is no denying that Final Fantasy XIV is one of the largest, most populated MMORPGs currently on the market. Square Enix, the developers behind the game, boasted a 16 million total registered players since they launched. While total registered players don't equate to a concurrent player number, it's safe to say that the game, specifically with the launch of Shadowbringers in mind, not to mention the refugees from WoW, have brought concurrent players to a whole new level. But that's besides the point. We're all well aware that Final Fantasy XIV is a large MMO. We're here to talk about Shadowbringers though. So each class, or job as it's referred to in Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm gonna refer to it as class purely because I prefer the terminology, has their own unique story associated with them. As an example, I'm a warrior and I take quests from my class trainer, and at a level 30 by a curious man named George who passes his time trying to cleave water in Tuat, Costa del Sol. They add personality and depth to each class you level. With the introduction of Shadowbringers, they're changing job quests in favor of role quests, quests specific to the role you play as, but that move along synchronously with the main story. There are entire role quest chains that encompass the tank, healer, range DPS, and melee DPS roles, but they aren't removing job quests altogether, at least from what I can tell. They will instead unlock once you hit max level, so not only are job quests still going to be available and doable, but you'll also have new role quests to tie into the main story and the role you chose to play in it. This is actually kind of awesome, as I've always been of the opinion that more main content, not side content, is just merely more to enjoy. Not only that, but they're finally doing away with role actions. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love having access to all of my skills, but I feel as though the system currently is pointless. Instead of allowing me to pick them, just let me learn them like I would normally, and that's pretty much what they did. Role actions will now be learned at specific levels. I mean, you know, this isn't really something that I'm excited about, it's more just I'm happy that they have made this quality of life change. Then, TP is getting removed. Man, I remember when sprinting would consume all of my TP and I would no longer be able to use any of my skills as a warrior or dragoon. Those were rough times. Thankfully, it seems as though Square are finally doing away with TP completely, meaning that, from what I can tell, tanks will no longer have to manage TP as their resource. On the topic of class changes, you can expect every single class to change. Some a little, some quite extensively. I know some people are upset with how their class is looking, healers specifically, but for me, I like how my warrior is looking. I think it's still going to be in a really good place, and I can't wait to gain access to some of those badass sounding skills, even if my skill bars, all 7 of them, are pretty much full already. Then the Gunbreaker and Dancer classes, holy crap, the hype I have for them is just unreal. My wife plans on leveling the Dancer while I level the Gunbreaker class, so we get to test both of them a little after launch, once we've had the time to hit max level and progress through some of the story and gain access to at least some form of endgame. Another thing I'm excited for, especially with regards to Warrior, is the fact that we'll be losing our DPS stance, but that isn't the part that's exciting. Allow me to quickly inform you guys of what being in tank stance does for me. It increases my maximum HP by 25% while reducing damage dealt by 20%. It also increases HP recovery via healing magics by 20%. Now, with the removal of DPS stances, I'll be able to sit in tank stance without penalty, meaning that I will no longer lose my 20% damage, but I will retain all of the positive effects of the stance. I don't play healer or DPS, so the updates, at least concerning them, don't really interest me. Not kidding, ever since I saw the VIERA in Final Fantasy XII with Fran and subsequently her entire race, I have been enamored. I'd hoped one day they would introduce VIERA into the game, and here we are. The HROTHGAR, which I doubt I'll ever play, are also a very cool addition, as if I ever want to go ahead and channel my inner Kamari, I can. Then finally, which is one of the things I am most excited for, is VIERA Dark Apocalypse, a raid based completely on the NIER Automata game. I am a huge NIER Automata fan. I loved it as much as I loved Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn, all of which I played at roughly similar times, funny enough. The raids in specific, like the raids in Stormblood, are inspired by the NIER Automata game and will also feature Yoko Taro, NIER's creator, in a partnership that will allow him full creative control over the raid, with him promising mechanics that will resemble those found within NIER Automata itself. Then there is the expansion of the story, finally learning what happened to our scions, Minfilia, Hydaelyn, and just so much more. New zones, new dungeons, new primals, new mechanics. I'm just hyped beyond measure right now if you guys can't tell, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into the game come the 28th. What about you? What are you most excited for? Just a quick PS, my wife Mrs. STIX and I will be streaming the early access head start of the game on the 28th or the 29th whenever we manage to get around the no doubt heavily strained login servers. So yeah, tune in to YouTube and watch with us. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this and I'll see you all next time. Peace!